Go.
What would you do if you won $100 million out of the blue? Maybe you would buy a yacht, go on the dream vacation, or get your fiance that one wedding ring she's been dying for. Many believe it'd be hard to spend $100 million in one day, but I'm on a mission to find the best and most appropriate way to do so. So buckle your seatbelt and get ready for the ride of your life while I inform you on the greatest way to spend the money that you may or may not have. In this speech, I will discuss how and why you shall do these three things while spending $100 million. Buying an unnecessary amount of cars, purchasing multiple homes, and going crazy in New York City for a whole day. Spending $100 million in a day shouldn't only be fun, but also easy. There is only one proper way to binge out on the greatest things in the world after spending this lump sum of amount of money. One shall feel better than he or she has ever felt before. Today I'm going to explain the best way to spend $1 million and encourage you, each and every one of you, to spend it just the way I propose to ensure that you have the time of your life. To help us understand the best way to spend $100 million, we will look at the ultimate and greatest way to spend the money. Buying unnecessary amount of cars. According to David Finley, a writer from ReadCars.com, the reason people buy expensive cars is because we are animals. Animals can gain an advantage over other animals of the same species by giving out signals which help them attract mates and intimidate rivals. This comparison shows that people in the same way are animals. In the same way that animals do incredible things to impress mates or scare competition, humans will buy the most extravagant cars to impress others or flash it around that they have the money, unlike their competition does. Buying the cars is a flex and a way to show off how much money you have. If you have the money to ride in luxury, it would be pointless if you did not do so. Vanessa Page, writer from Investopedia.com, states that according to the study from a journal, Experimental Psychology, for consumers trapped in institutionalized poverty or living paycheck to paycheck, a luxury good can go a long way in increasing self-esteem, providing a sense of belonging. While buying a car will not only make you look cooler, it will also improve your mental and physical health. A quote from a well-known car collector, Joe Ellison: "The reason I buy classic cars is because the value they have on them today and the limited ability they have. You can't just walk up to a Chevy dealership lot anymore and find a 57 Chevy laying out there. With many classic cars, one can't put a value due to sentimental value behind them. So while one has the money to purchase the classic car that they have been dreaming, they should probably do so." Now that we have discussed the first step in spending $100 million in one day, we will look at the second step of the process, purchasing as many houses as they can. According to LoveMoney.com, Larry Ellison owns 33 houses and an island. Jeff Bezos owns 10 houses, Bill Gates with 4, and Mark Zuckerberg with 5 houses and parts of an island. Now, why would one need so much property, you may ask? Well, here's why. Having multiple homes makes a person flash off how much wealth they have. Why would you just want to own one house when you can own 5? Each house can be in a different location and designed differently for the mood you may be feeling that day. Buying an oceanfront property and a ski lodge is ideal for welcoming guests on a daily basis to ensure that everyone there has a lot of fun. According to Cade Merrigan, a student at Central Cass High School, when asked why he would purchase multiple homes, he stated, "Because why not? If I had the money to own property on every corner of the United States, I would do so just to say and brag to others that I have the money." The aspect of having money to waste on multiple homes is an idea that dates back to many centuries ago. People will always be competitive when it comes to spending money, and buying many properties is one of the best ways to lavish in your wealth. Now that we have examined the second step in spending $100 million in a day, we will take a glance at the final step in bathing yourself in wealth and glory by spending a day in the great town of New York City. Have you ever wondered what spending a day in New York City with almost unlimited money would be like? Well, according to Christina Parallel, a writer from New York City Official Guide, there are many stores that include, but aren't limited to, Bergdorf, Goodman, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, St. Laurent, Cartier, Saks on Fifth Avenue, and Tiffany & Co. These iconic luxury stores will be sure to put a dent in the wallet and allow one to bench out on items that they have always been wanting to have. And many of these items are seen by the most famous people in the world. According to FifthAvenue.com, a few other stores include, but aren't limited to, Adidas, Coach, Kate Spade, Lululemon, Nike, Oakley, and Rolex. All of these stores have a price range from a $50 sweatshirt to a $17 million Rolex watch, which will instantly catch one's eye. Spending $100 million on Fifth Avenue is easier than one thinks because spending $2 million per store adds up quite quickly, but will for sure increase someone's drip. New York City's Fifth Avenue remains the world's most expensive street at nearly $3,000 per square foot. Imagine what you would do with $1 million at all your favorite stores. Following the shopping spree, you can eat out at New York's most famous and expensive restaurant, the Mesa, which will average a person nearly $585 to $1,000 per plate. Today we have discussed the 3 steps in spending $100 million by buying an excessive amount of cars, purchasing multiple homes, and spending a day on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Having $100 million to waste on anything you choose would be one of the most satisfying and greatest things in the entire world. While investing would be a smart idea, I believe the necessities such as cars, homes, and watches would be a much greater investment. Improving your drip will for sure increase your self-esteem and will make you feel much better on a day-to-day basis. I believe the 3 ways of spending $100 million in a day includes buying an excessive amount of cars, purchasing multiple homes, and spending a day in the great city of New York City. So the final question I have for you is, what would you do with $100 million?